listening to the Vox Media Podcast Network.
MMA Fighting presents Timeline: Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori 2. August 20th, 2016, UFC 202. Diaz versus McGregor 2, Las Vegas, Nevada. The 10-1 Marvin Vettori makes his UFC debut as the curtain jerker opposite Brazilian Alberto Uda. Vettori defeats Uda via guillotine late in the first round.
Who brought me to this sport was like Fedor. Fedor was my first guy that brought me into this sport, and then I fell in love with the old pride, like Rampage, Croc Up, and all these guys. But Fedor and Mauricio, that's were the guys that brought me into the sport. But then obviously, just after I found out that the only Italian that at the time was in the UFC was Alessio Sakara, so obviously it's good when you train, when you do stuff, when you put work in and people recognize it. That's what it's all about. It was harder in the beginning once you just like work and on the shadow and but you every day in and out from the gym, but nobody really cares of what you're doing. Now that for sure I'm ready to show, and yeah.
Vettori would go on to drop a decision loss to Antonio Carlos Jr. at UFC 207, Nunes versus Rousey. Vettori bounces back with a decision victory over Vitor Miranda at UFC Fight Night 112, Chiesa versus Lee in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Vettori is then booked against veteran Omari Akhmedov at UFC 219. Vettori and Akhmedov fight to a majority draw. February 10th, 2018, UFC 221, Romero versus Rockhold, Perth, Australia. An 11-0 Kiwi training out of Auckland City Kickboxing makes his UFC debut on the early prelims and defeats the 11-1 Rob Wilkinson by second round TKO. April 14th, 2018, UFC on Fox 29, Poirier versus Gaethje, Glendale, Arizona. Israel Adesanya makes his United States MMA debut, facing Marvin Vettori.
After your first fight, I saw a lot of people giving it young John Jones comparisons.
Yeah.
But I think the physical attributes are undeniable, but your games are different. I mean, so
exactly.
do you welcome that comparison? Do you not?
For me, it's not about John Jones. It's just, I feel like it's disrespectful if you try to compare me or what I've done throughout my career to someone else, whether it be Anderson, Conor, Chael, whoever. I just feel, I'm not the next blah, blah, blah. I'm the first me and the one and only me, so people are gonna get used to it. And yeah, the comparison is cool, but it's not really cool.
In February, you're making your debut, you're buried on an undercard. Now only a few months later, you're on a main card on Fox. Millions of people gonna watch. Is this happening faster than you expected it to?
From a town called Mexico.
Not really. I kind of expected all this, and I knew once the UFC got a taste, they'll be like, oh shit, all right. Everything on them, bet on black. So I just knew it was gonna happen. But yeah, I've expected all this, and no different. When I'm in that cage, it doesn't matter whether I'm the first fight of the night or the main event. It's just me and another guy in that cage. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, being a champ is just, like I said, it's just a little trinket you get along the way when you on the level that I'm on. And I feel it's just gonna happen based on the way I fight, based on my charisma, based on the way I just carry myself. And it's not really about the belt. It's about, for me, being the guy that people talk about when they talk about who's the best that ever did this, And I want to be one of those guys that'll get top three, or they can just say, nah, it's him, guaranteed, bar none. And that's my goal, and having fun along the way, The moniker, it comes from the TV series, Avatar, the kids show, yeah. So I was watching that as a kid, and I kind of related to Aang, the main character, a lot. In his journey, his quest to realize his destiny as the Avatar, because he has to master all the elements, fire, water, air, and earth, to realize that he's a guy of this world, So in this game, I feel like I have to do the same. I have to master all the elements of martial arts to realize my destiny as the Avatar.
we'll see on Saturday. I'm more than excited for this fight, and I just think I'm way better. That's it. He's been trying to hide everything that he did in the last camp. He's trying to publish things that he wasn't doing, and I'm more clear about that. I'm more like I'll beat him everywhere. I got no problem. Man, I stand with Fabricio Verdun day in, day out, with a guy trying to knee your face like every second of the round, and he's a heavyweight, and then I can't be scared of like a guy like this. I'm really confident and excited for this fight, and I can't wait.
I was gonna say the energy that you have right now, it feels
right? Yeah, man,
one.
it's just good.
Yeah,
feel good. He's dangerous. I'm not gonna underrate him. He has a lot of fights in K1, and he's fast, he's precise. But I'm prepared, and I'm ready to fight. I'm super ready, and I'm pumped, and I want to fight. He's a little chihuahua, and I'm the bulldog, man. So I'm just gonna eat him.
Has he ever fought a fighter like you?
No, never. Not even close. As a complete like me, and hard-headed in a way, and with a will like mine, no way, not even close.
As a fan, are you entertained by sort of his antics, or do you just find it kind of annoying?
I mean, it's funny. It's funny, and then, but I think he put himself in a spot right now where he's fucked up.
What do you mean?
Against me.
Yeah, I mean, it would seem like, to go in, if you go in there and knock the guy out, that would be incredible, but it would also seem like maybe the easier thing would be to try to take him down and test him there, right? So, I mean, you have to balance that. It's
an MMA fight, I'm a beat him up till the point he can't take it no more. He got old sloppy, and then we'll see what happens. Like, he has so many holes, I think, in the ground game. But again, he's very good at something, even in the striking game, but it's not like honestly, he wasn't even. He's good, but it wasn't like a top fighter in K1 either. Honestly, that's a fact. Like, there are guys that they stay over him, even in K1. So I mean, he's dangerous, but it's nothing like, oh man, you can't stand with this guy. He's gonna throw like energetic something that is gonna knock you out from like 10 meters away. Like, because honestly, some guys think like that, and I'm not buying this shit. So.
Do you think it's more just flash than substance?
I mean, it's good, but it's nothing that I haven't seen before. I trained with like Raymond Daniels, like or like another guy from Italy that came over for a few. Gabriele Casella, he's another good K1 fighter, same height as him. Like, it's all like they're different looks, and everybody has like their strength. But like, I mean, it's nothing that I haven't seen before. I train like a madman, and I take everything very like scientific, and in a way it's like he will come out with his style, but I'll be ready. I've trained with so many guys through the years that for sure it's gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be dangerous, but I'm ready.
Let me ask you, everybody was so excited with Israel in his debut, both in the cage, his creativity, but also on the mic, his confidence. Were you as impressed as everybody else was?
I was, but I knew it was coming. Right? Like, we knew Israel Adesanya before people in the UFC got introduced to him, because I called him. I said, hey, are you willing to come and train with me before I fought Jones the first time? Because I saw the similarities right away, right? So when we watched him in preparation for the fight, thinking that we can get him as a training partner, what he did in there was no surprise. What did surprise me was his ability to stay within himself in his first UFC fight. Didn't get excited when he hurt his opponent. Took his time. Stayed the course, defended takedowns, right? He would get taken down, get right back up to his feet. He just fought as well as you could expect for a guy making his UFC debut.
You look at Israel and sort of the body of work he's put together. I mean, his overall combat sports record is something ridiculous, 70 wins, something like that. How do you view him as a prospect? How do you rate him? Is he one of these blue chip prospects where by the end of the year, we may be talking about this guy in title contention? Or is this something where we maybe should slow our roll and let him get his feet wet?
It'll take some time, but not a really long time. It'll take a little bit of time for him to fight for a title. But I want you to know this, though, that when Yoel Romero and Luke Rockhold were going to fight for the interim title, and Romero will miss weight, Israel said, hey, I'll fight Rockhold. No questions. He goes, I'll fight Rockhold for an interim title. Why not? That's the confidence of this young man. He's a really, really big-time prospect. The UFC seems to be putting, I mean, he's on Fox on his second fight in the promotion. There's a lot of hope that he could become a star. He has all of it. I mean, he has everything to become a star, but he's got to take care of Vettori.
Adesanya wins by decision.
For me, I just keep going forward. Like, I don't really care about the expectations of other people. It's just the expectations of myself and my team that I put on myself. So I expect highly of my performance. So tonight I'll give it like a 4 out of 10 if I'm being generous, like a 4 out of 10. But yeah. Next, I heard Brad call me out, Brad Tavares. So if he wants it, he can get it. But let them they can all look at this fight and think, oh, he's been exposed or whatever, you know. Let them think that. Come see me and you see what happens when you're in there with me. But wait till later on. This is my second fight in the UFC. It's my second fight in the biggest fight promotion in the world, so I'm still swimming well, you know, with these sharks, and yeah, you'll see. Just give me time. Try and beat me now, because every time I step in there, I get better. So if you want to try and beat me, try it yesterday.
The Italian Dream would bounce back with decision victories over Cesar Ferreira at UFC on ESPN Plus 13, Durandamy vs. Ladd in Sacramento, California. And Andrew Sanchez, UFC on ESPN Plus 19, Jędrzejczyk vs. Watterson in Tampa, Florida.
Still only got over the scorecard over Israel Adesanya. How much motivation and inspiration has it been to see him now holding the title?
I knew it was, honestly, like I said, the last time I kind of like, I think when I fought him first, I underestimated him a little bit. But I know my potential. I don't need to see my result against him to know my potential. But yeah, I got distracted by that too. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's doing good, and I can't wait to face him again. I think it'll be a different fight. I'm so much improved, and I can't wait. Honestly, hey, he did good. Like since my fight, I don't think anybody did any better than me, and I wasn't even half as good as what I am now. So, and he knows.
You see that fight going down in the future?
Oh, absolutely. And I see me winning clearly. So yeah, man. My next fights, I want somebody that, you know, puts me in to start building up the rankings and stuff. Like I think I deserve it. I think I belong there. I think I can run through these rankings and get my title shot. I know it's maybe early to say, but I know it from day one, and I see it every time more and more.
July 6, 2018. The Ultimate Fighter 27 finale. Tavares vs. Adesanya, Las Vegas, Nevada. In only his third appearance in the UFC, Israel Adesanya is booked in his first UFC main event opposite longtime UFC veteran Brad Tavares.
You see the body language, it's different. I believe what I'm saying. He doesn't. He's just trying to say what the blueprint is and what he thinks he's supposed to say. I'm all hype. Please, he's only here because of me. Check my resume. I keep saying, check my resume. You see my body of work. I'm 2 fights in the UFC, 3 fights in 6 months. I'm running the show now. Who else? Not many, if any.
Do you enjoy wrestling?
Yeah, bro, like no one's ever seen. It's been my secret. Like, even we have a guy on my team like Brad Riddell. He's a world champion kickboxer. You guys don't know him, or some of you might know him. Beast, he's around. He's been wrestling for so long, but no one knows it. So same thing when he comes in the UFC or when he's been fighting MMA as well. Everyone's gonna try and take him down. So same for me. I've been wrestling for a long time. I've been doing jiu-jitsu since 2010. I've been wrestling probably since 2013. Well, properly since 2015, like consistently. So you guys see my life. You see, I've had now 2 UFC fights. How many takedown attempts? How many were successful? Check the stats. Don't even, like, sometimes stats lie, numbers can lie, but look at my fighting style. These guys shoot for the hip and they slip, you know, I pull them, I wear them like a pair of pants when they go for a double leg. You know, they go for a single leg, I hit them with a choke. I can do anything, but you guys just haven't seen anyone keep me in a position where I'm uncomfortable, you know? Well, I get comfortable with the uncomfortable, that's me.
Do you feel like this is the one where you can kind of prove that you're at this level with this kind of fight?
Look at the guys he's lost to, you know, the Romeros, the Whitakers. Those are guys that just fought for a title recently, I think in Chicago. So I feel I'm better than those guys, you know. You guys might have your own opinions, you know, everyone on the, you know, say their own shit, but he loses to higher quality competition, and I'm the cream of the crop. So come Friday night, it's another one.
In a breakout performance, Adesanya showcases on Tavares and takes home a dominant, unanimous decision. The victory also earns Izzy his first UFC performance bonus.
There was some talk about Adesanya, this being a little bit too early for him to face a quality opponent like Tavares in the middleweight division, a top 10 opponent, a durable veteran. It didn't seem that way in practice tonight.
Absolutely not. I mean, this was a test that even I doubted whether he would be able to pass it. It seemed like it was almost too much too soon. Boy, he proved a lot of us wrong. I mean, that was impressive. To be able to come out here in your third UFC fight, may headline a card and just put on a show. What he did to Brad Tavares tonight was completely impressive. I mean, Brad Tavares, if you look at him historically, the kind of opposition he fights in the UFC, he only loses to A-level opponents for the most part. Israel Adesanya just came out here and blew him out of the water. His striking is a joy to watch, man. His head is never on the center line. There's fakes and feints all over the place. The elbows and the knees. I mean, there was one point where Tavares had wrist control on him and he kind of did like a step-in elbow from it. He was throwing like the spinning elbows like a John Jones style. It was just so impressive to watch.
To your point, Tavares only has 3 losses going back to 2011, and 2 of those losses are against one Robert Whittaker and one Yoel Romero, who are, by all intents and purposes, the 2 best middleweights in the world.
100%. I came in there, smoke bomb, boom, ninja run. Because I told you, it's real ninja shit. And to everyone that keeps saying my hand signs are fake, look, I've been drilling these for a long time. These are not fake hand signs. These are for weeboos, all the anime nerds. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, they keep saying, oh, that bullshit, just fucking doing stupid hand signs. Like, I drill these things and I get them inside. It's for my chakra to infuse them and make sure I can, like, channel it in that moment. You fuck with Naruto? Fuck yeah, I'm there. I like your ninja way. So by blood, I'm Nigerian, and I'm from the people, the Yoruba tribe, you know. So I was speaking, funny thing is, I used to think we had like 60 million people in Nigeria. That's a lot. Then my dad was like, no, we've got like 180 million and counting. I kind of realized, man, that's a lot of people I haven't really they don't, like New Zealand, they know who I am now, but Nigeria doesn't really know who I am. I'm trying to like, you guys, I'm out here, I'm representing you guys. Like, look at my chest. You know, I kind of just let them know, like, I'm here. Like, don't, just take notice. Notice me, senpai. Notice me. I want to be a legend in this game. The belt's just like another trinket I collect along the way, you know? Yeah, so the belt, it looks good on black skin anyway, so I like gold like that. It shines, it illuminates on black skin. So the belt will come, but it's not the end goal, because a lot of guys like, I want to get that belt. I'm going to be the champion, you know? And they get the belt, and the next fight they lose the belt, because that was the pinnacle. I was like, oh, that was it. I'm just trying to fuck everyone up in my era, in my weight class. So when it's all said and done, like, you know, Israel was a guy. He was smoking everyone, you know? I mean, I saw something as well on Instagram today. It was 5 or 6 years ago. It was an end to an era in the middleweight division, you know? Anderson Silva lost his title, and that was after a 12-something fight run. I can't remember. Lost it to Chris Weidman. So, and that was today, 5 years ago. And yeah, now, as a new avatar in the world, the cycle continues. So I'm that guy now. I'm gonna make my run, because he inspired me with what he did, you know, and he's still rostered on, so he can catch these hands. Like I said, just because I'm a fan doesn't mean you can't catch these hands.
November 3rd, 2018. UFC 230, Cormier versus Lewis, New York, New York. The Stylebender is booked for his 4th fight in 2018 against his toughest competition to date, the top-ranked Derek Brunson.
Where does the bad blood between you guys stem from? Is it just the product of you guys fighting each other? Like, where? I mean, you guys have been pretty heated with each other.
It's his insecurities. That's where it stemmed from. I had no beef. You know, I'm chilling. But it's his insecurities that are surfacing up. You know, because he's never been in this, and he sees what I'm getting, all the shine, all the money, all the clout that I'm supposedly getting because of all the work I'm doing. And he's been here for so long. This is only my first year in the company, not even a year. And I'm doing way more than he's ever done in his whole career. So, yeah, I think it's just insecurity showing up.
Adesanya defeats Brunson by KO late in the first round. The victory also earns Izzy back-to-back Performance of the Night bonus checks.
I won't say he did whatever he wanted because that's not true. Early on, Brunson was kind of all over him, but he was stuffing the takedowns, creating separation, getting his back off the fence, and then he just lit him on fire. Israel Adesanya is on a rocket ship to the stars, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, it wasn't pretty until the moment it was pretty, because it was one of those situations. Brunson was going after him, headhunting. We knew he would do this. He was kind of making it rough. He was taking him in. He was kind of pushing him against the cage a little bit. And you're thinking, this may be a tough night. It may be where he has to kind of grind out a win or something like that. But as soon as he tagged them the first time, this is always, you look at these guys with this kind of swagger, you see it slow down for them. This isn't a guy who jumped in all nuts and wanted to go for the kill. It slowed down for him. You could see him dial in. You could see him drop his hands and just take his time, making sure, like he said, he's like a surgeon. Like every shot means something. He wants to touch his chin. You could see that. And when you see that type of thing, that makes you see that it factor that we always talk about. That's when you see it in full. So when you see a guy in that situation.
So I think part of the reason they have this it factor is a lot of people think you can just will yourself to greatness by saying these things. And to some extent you can, actually. It really is true, the power of belief. But I don't think he's trying to raise himself to a level. He has experienced it with other men. And it has told him who he is in the pecking order. He just takes that to the next fight. I spoke to him privately over here in the corner. He was telling me, he mentioned it here briefly. I was saying, like, what was your reaction after his over? He goes, I couldn't believe how slow Derek Brunson was. Like, he could just see everything move in a way that none of the rest of us could. And
it was reminiscent, honestly, of the Silva. We were talking about the Silva Griffin fight, where you see the difference suddenly. Like, you see it in real time, and it actually calculates to your human eye, like your ability to see that, to discern the speed difference.
Were you actually really mad about the short grab? You flipped him off. You're yelling at the ref.
He's cheating. That's cheating. And he said to ref, only did it once. He did it twice. Watch the tape. Literally, watch the tape. He did it the first thing he did. When he shot, he grabbed on my right side. And I just felt like, okay, Herb didn't see that. I kind of glanced. And then the second time was just so blatant because he's panicking. He was scared. I was just, I need to take this guy down. And thing is, I kind of half hope he did. I wanted him to just half hope, like, so I can just show him what was up. And then when I sweep him, show him what my top game's like. Because a lot of these guys keep thinking, he's just a kickboxer. The smart ones, only the smartest coaches would have been watching for a long time. They would have been seeing what I'm doing. And they would have been like, okay, this guy's game better. And he said, I see him beat Brad. I thought, he can fight okay. Who's okay now? Who's skinny now? Huh? You got bodied by a skinny. What you mean? So, you have, before the fight, I wouldn't tell a lot of you guys this. I didn't want to say like, I want, Chris Weidman was the only guy I felt if he won, even in lackluster fashion, but if he won in spectacular fashion, he would be the guy next in line. That's how I felt. But now that didn't happen, you have Jacare, who has lost to both Kelvin and Robert, Who wants to see that again? Come on. No one wants to see that again. So then you go, who else? Now, Jared. Jared, he did well tonight. I didn't really see the fight, so I wasn't sure if it was a back and forth or if it was an ass whooping. Well, I know he did well tonight in the third round, but I got mine done in the first round, so yeah, I leapfrogged that. And then you have Yoel, didn't make it, unreliable. Rockhold, and also he missed weight. Yoel doesn't make weight all the time, so that's unreliable. Rockhold, he makes weight, but same thing, pulls out, unreliable. Pull out game strong. Who else do we have? Need something fresh, like something that just makes sense, like, a trans-Tasman rivalry. You've got the Aussies. If he wins, what's up, Guns? If he wins, Robert, if he wins against Calvin, even if he doesn't, if Calvin wins, we can still do it. Mexicano versus the Kiwi, the black Kiwi, the Niger boy. But if Robert wins, it just makes so much sense to do it in Auckland, Spark Arena. Because when I talked to Dana, like, after my last fight, he said, I want to make some crazy money. And I was like, yeah, so let's make some crazy money.
February 9th, 2019. UFC 234, Silva versus Adesanya, Melbourne, Australia. Originally booked as the co-main event, Adesanya faces the legend Anderson Silva.
I know you can't look past Anderson Silva, perhaps the greatest of all time, but, looking at the man right there to your left, this would be, I gotta imagine, Rob's got a tough test as well, but is that the fight that you would like most? Because I imagine, especially down here, it may be a stadium.
Of course, we're looking at Sydney, maybe Brisbane, somewhere, but...
Spurs.
2, 3, 4. This weekend, Sunday, we both have big tests ahead of us. And everyone, I seen the odds this week and I'm like, man, y'all must have forgot. Like Roy Jones said, y'all must have forgot. You don't know who that man over there, Anderson Silva. I think a lot of you new fans weren't around during his reign, what it felt like. You might have come around the Rousey era or the McGregor era, but you don't realize who this guy is. So he brought me into this game, you know? This guy inspired me to be able to believe like a skinny black guy can just come in here and fuck everyone up. So he brought me into this game, and for me, it'll be an honor to take him out the game.
You said you're here to have a good time. Yesterday at the open workouts, you did a pro wrestling workout. What made you want to do that?
First of all, sorry, John Vake, because I hit that rock bottom too hard. We practiced it; it was cool. I was able to control the fall, but in the hype of everything, I like all my weight went on him, and I saw him like arch his back, and I was like, "Sorry, bro, you ready?" And they kept on going, but I'm having a good. This is entertainment. This is still entertainment at the end of the day. So a lot of these guys don't know how to play the game. I've always been an entertainer through my dancing, through my artistry, through my me. I've just always been a very interesting, entertaining person. So that was just cool. And the Attitude Era was my era. So you see me hit the Stone Cold Stunner. I bring out the People's Elbow with a little bit of the Ric Flair strut, and then the half-assed Spinneroonie. I did a better one on the embedded. I hope they put it on there because I got like mad spin. But on that one, I was like, I didn't get enough traction. I was like, fuck it. But I fixed it with the Shawn Michaels kick up, so that was cool.
I don't give a fuck. Look, I'm a fan of this man. But just because I'm a fan doesn't mean you can't catch these hands and elbow and feet and knee. Tomorrow, we're going to throw everything in the cage. We're going to have fun, all right? I'll send him off in a nice way. Let's go.
There he is, folks. Israel Adesanya.
Adesanya cruises to a unanimous decision.
The best way I could describe it was like being in a twilight zone. So when I get to download my thoughts alone, then I can kind of like, But one thing is that was cool. That was cool as fuck. Like, just even when he caught one of my kicks and I knew he was trying to catch it, and like I tripped, and as I was getting back up, I was like, all right, here comes a flying knee. I've seen this many times. And I just slid to the left. And I was like, I've seen this too many. And he tried so many tricks that I've seen. Even when I made him faint and he'd react like, like say example, if he react with his hands out, then he'd just bring it back and do the hand kung fu shit. And I'm like, well, man, I've seen these too many times. Even like UFC 112, Abu Dhabi with Damian Maia. He's trying to bait him to strike. Like, come on, throw your biggest shot. So he put his hands down and like even put his back against the fence. That's how Bisping got caught with the up kick. I'm not stupid, you know? I don't think I look stupid, but I'm smarter than I look. But yeah, hands down, getting punched in the face with some measly strikes and they expecting me to throw a big one. Like, I'm like, dude, it was cool. It was cool, just a cool experience. And I said it after the fight. Everyone else plays it on EA Sports and I get to play it in real life with the real dudes. So I win.
April 13th, 2019, UFC 236, Holloway vs. Poirier 2, Atlanta, Georgia. Israel the Stylebender Adesanya is set to face Kelvin Gastelum for the interim UFC middleweight championship.
6 fights in 14 months. I know that you wanted to get back in here. You always say about the itchy knuckles, which I love that phrase. But has this just been physically and mentally exhausting at this point? Like, I can't understand how you can keep this pace at this point. Has it been physically and mentally exhausting to some degree at least?
Because you know me, no one's me. Honestly, like, for me, I've done this throughout my whole career and people just kind of, aren't you tired? Are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I get my rest in between. I know how to play hard and I know how to work hard. Let's put it that way.
The way your whole UFC run is playing out, now it's led to this. Does this kind of feel like destiny in a way?
100%. Dude, look at the fight after this. Come on. Big super fight between the fucking Mozzie and the All Black, the Flying Kiwi. You know, it's just, yeah, it's destiny. The way this movie is, this is the Silva fight was the end of my first movie. Leading up to this fight is the beginning of my next movie, and it's gonna end after the Whitaker fight.
In what MMA fighting called Fight of the Year, Adesanya defeats Gastelum by unanimous decision to win the interim title.
It's definitely a front runner for Fight of the Year for me.
For everyone.
Israel Adesanya coming through, he perseveres through danger. He ends up defeating Kelvin Gastelum via decision and winning this interim title. Just give me your thoughts on this fight, your takeaways. Is this a star-making performance for Israel Adesanya?
I can't imagine it's not. How are you not a star after that? It's not your pick for fight of the year. It is fight of the year. Justin Gaethje may fight later this year, and so he's always at risk to take that. But it's going to be hard for even him to do this. I mean, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. It's certainly the best fight I've ever seen live. You're right. The crowd was so into it, so loud, so explosive about it. Honestly, I felt like I'd been in the fight at the end of it. I just had this huge adrenaline dump, and it was hard to get ready for the main event, which was what we all were really pumped for coming in. It's hard to even put into words kind of what that was. If that doesn't make Israel Adesanya a star, what are we even doing here? He was going to be a star anyway, though. This just elevates him. It gives him a belt to carry around. It sets up, I think, my favorite fight in the sport right now. I think Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker, I think that's the #1 fight I want to see right now.
Well, I want to ask you about that fight in a little bit, but first, Israel comes into this fight. He ends up taking control early, and then Kelvin kind of switches things up in the middle rounds. In that fourth round, it really looked as though he had Israel in major, major danger, and he ends up shooting for a takedown, and that seemed to me to maybe be a pivotal decision in the fight, a pivotal turning point in the fight, because Izzy was really on shaky legs, and then he comes out in that fifth round and just lays the wood on Kelvin Gastelum in those final minutes. He was probably 10 seconds away from getting a finish. I want to ask you the same question I asked about Dustin. Did this fight teach you anything about Israel Adesanya, change your opinion about him at all?
Tommy's got a great ground game, apparently. I know he's been saying it, but maybe I just didn't believe it. But I mean, you saw that fifth round. There were some transitions there. He went guillotine into triangle into another triangle, and a couple of those were really tight. That guillotine, Kelvin just bailed on because he knew he was in trouble. That second triangle, it looked dangerous. I mean, it was at the end of a long fight. They were sweaty and bloody, so gives Kelvin a little bit of an edge there, but dude's got grapples. That's everyone in the division needs to watch out. With that type of striking and a lethal submission game on top of it, Robert Whittaker has his hands full.
And that's the fight, right? Robert Whittaker, and probably in Australia, maybe in New Zealand, just in some area like that. How big do you think that fight could be?
I think locally in that region, it's going to be a monster. I think
is that a stadium? Can you do a stadium for that?
100%. I think everyone is on the same page with that. Just go as big as you can out there, blow it all the way out, because Israel Adesanya is one of the best young stars in the sport. This is a sensational fight. They're going to be able to fill that up, no problem. Pay-per-views are always interesting, especially, tonight was the first night of the ESPN On Plus pay-per-view experience. We'll see kind of how that shakes out, but it's definitely a monster fight, and I can't wait for it. I'm so excited.
What are those moments like when you're inside those moments where you guys are just going at it absolutely crazy? Like you said, you're willing to die in there. What is that moment actually like when you're the one in there?
It's hard to explain. Only those who dare put themselves out there like we do will ever experience anything like that. And just in those moments, like I said, I could see why people wilt. And even Eugene told me, you can see on the embedded, he's a guy you just have to break him down. You're not gonna get him out of there with one shot, Eugene said. You just have to break him down. And I was, the leg kicks were paying off, slowing him down. My oblique kicks they're working a little bit. But yeah, he blocked all my head kicks, I think. I can't remember, I'll have to have a look at the fight again. But those moments in there, yeah, I can see why people wilt, but I'm not one to quit. I'm strong mentally. I'm bulletproof in the brain. And I'm fucked in the head a little bit. So I just knew you're not gonna break me, because I've had 8 guys, 10 guys. I was gonna say run a train, but in a different way, on me in training. And I'm like, if they can't break me, one man can't break me. And he's a tough one hell of a man.
October 5th, 2019, UFC 243. Whittaker versus Adesanya, Melbourne, Australia. The interim champion, Israel Adesanya, is set to face the champion, Robert Whittaker, in front of 57,000 plus fans at Marvel Stadium.
You can make $100 million in the UFC. You don't have to go to boxing. That's such a, it's only Mayweather's gonna make that. Only McGregor's gonna make that, when he fought Mayweather. So that's a Mayweather effect. That's gonna happen in the UFC. I guarantee you. I might be the first to do it in the UFC. If McGregor comes back and compete with me for that, but I might be the first to do that in the UFC. So I don't go to, it's not about money at the end of the day. I'm doing this for legacy. So this is where I'm gonna end my career. I don't wanna
fight the baddest motherfuckers in the world and then go fight some guy. Oh, we'll duke it out, but we'll just use our hands. I gotta kick someone in the face.
I'd say something about your star power to have John Jones kind of tweeting at you the way he is and talking about you like that. Sometimes he doesn't even mention guys, you know?
Not really, I don't think so, but it just shows you how much I'm under his skin, how much I get to him, that's it.
You definitely see that fight happening in the future, right?
I told you, 2021, Raiders Stadium, Las Vegas.
You know, you spoke about Mayweather there. Do you look up to him in any kind of way? What he's done?
Man, he's the fucking money. I've been money team for a long time. And when he fought McGregor, I was going for McGregor because when I fought in boxing, you know, my first fight, they made me lose. That's my only loss. And I rocked the guy in the first round, smoked him in the second round, and I coasted in the third round, and they gave it to him. And that's because a guy with no amateur record, no pro record in boxing, coming in and making one of the best boxers in Australia look shit, you know? So when he fought Mayweather, I was like, I want McGregor to win because I can relate to that. So yeah, I look at Mayweather, look when it was Pretty Boy Floyd, what he did, and look at him as Money May. He knew the formula. He created that that not everyone followed. Like Ali did that as well. Like a lot of people have done that for years, but he's done it the best.
In breathtakingly violent fashion, Style Bender knocks out Bobby Knuckles 3 minutes and 33 seconds into the second round, becoming the undisputed UFC middleweight champion.
People, after seeing that entrance, I bet you the green-eyed monsters were like, I fucking hope this guy loses. I fucking hope. I'm sure some of you in here as well. Oh, this asshole, look at him, thinks he's a fucking man. I hope he loses. I hope he gets flatlined. You know, because that's just that, it's ingrained in us. It's this tall puppy syndrome. It's this jealousy that when you see someone shining, you feel like it takes away from your own shine. And I'm like, look, I can't dim my shine just because some people feel uncomfortable. Everything went full circle tonight. I danced with some of my day ones, my guys, not even day -5s, guys that I've known from way back. You know, Jay, I used to look up to him, you know, back in Rotorua. Jesse, I taught him how to dance, and now he's just taking it and run with it. And to have them, you know, set the tone for me and just have fun. Like I said, when I'm having fun, I'm the best in the world. So I was having fun. And when I saw him walk out, it was too intense. And you can't fake that shit. You can put your hoodie over your eyes and all you want. I can smell it's pheromones, you know, I can smell it off him. I was like, he's not with it. And he was doing the right moves, but there was no feeling behind it. So I saw everything coming. He hit me a few times, but like I don't like getting hit because not that I'm a bitch or I'm not tough. I am, but it's not smart. But yeah, I just showed you guys I can take it and give it as well, apparently, because I have no knockout power and I got pillow hands. Boo-hoo. You know, you ever heard about the anime called Death Note? Anyone? Hands up? Yeah, so he's the Grim Reaper, right? I have a Shinigami with me. And I just had to write his name because I was like, he's not gonna last. I just wrote his name in a Death Note. And those who knows the rules of the Death Note, they know there's a certain time frame that after your name's written in the Death Note, the Shinigami will get you. So yeah, it is what it is. And it happened as it's supposed to be. I told you, I'm a dancer, I'm an entertainer. Like, I don't have to worry about it. We came up with that on Wednesday. I tried to do it at the Silva fight in February, and the UFC were like, no, we can't have that. I was like, oh, fuck you then. And then this fight, this is my show. I'm headlining this bitch. So I was like, no, I'm gonna do it my way or no way. Like, who else on this kind of stage is gonna do that before they go and whoop some ass, you know? It's no one. I think James Tahuna is the only one that's ever done it, from what I can remember with
The fight with Marvin Vettori was a learning experience.
This is a real test for Adesanya.
But yeah, like, you got to realize this is the spectacle, man. This is a big stadium. I had to give him a show and set the tone. And there's no one like me, like no one.
March 7th, UFC 248, Adesanya versus Romero, Las Vegas, Nevada. The 18-0 UFC middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya, is set to face Yoel Romero as the main event at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada.
My first pay-per-view headliner in America with a card that I actually like. I could have picked some different fights, but you know how the UFC is. But I would have started. Yeah, I feel good. I feel like this is where it's supposed to be. It's the Mecca of fighting, man. This is Las Vegas. This is the big show, and I want to see what the numbers do after this fight. Yeah. I really want to see, because, like I said, it's my first pay-per-view in America with a card that Sean O'Malley opening the main show. Fuck, that's gonna be sick, man. I can't wait for his comeback. And then the co-main event, that's slept on, man. You guys don't understand. That's gonna be fight of the night, in my opinion. The girl's gonna fucking scrap, man. It's gonna be a girl fight. I want to be an active champion. I want to do right by the division, like GSP did in welterweight, like Demetrius did at flyweight, like Anderson did at middleweight. I want to make the middleweight division great, man.
To be clear, I mean, you would have been fighting Paulo Costa if he was available.
If he was available, I called him after the last fight, but then, come on, man. I'm gonna pop that motherfucker before USADA does. I swear to God. And I want to.
Few minutes, but we're gonna get started. Bring the athletes out.
Welcome to the UFC 263 press conference, where this Saturday, a pair of rematches for UFC championships headline a loaded card from top to bottom. But before that, an icon of the sport makes his return. First to the stage, the embodiment of a true fighter with a name that's synonymous with the 209, Stockton, California. He's as real as it gets, the one and only Nate Diaz. His opponent, a surging welterweight contender, unbeaten in his last 9 fights and laser focused on wrapping a UFC title around his waist. Here is Inland's Leon Rocky Edwards. Up next, it's a rematch of one of 2020's greatest wars, once again for the flyweight title. First to the stage, a Mexican warrior with endless heart, unbeaten over his last 4 fights. This is Brandon Assassin Baby Moreno. He faces one of the most devastating champions in the sport, whose rise to the top of the mountain has included the most finishes and knockdowns in the division's history. Please welcome the defending UFC flyweight champion, the God of War, Brazil's Deiveson Figueiredo. And in the main event, 2 of the best middleweights in the world run it back for the 185-pound title. Introducing first, a destructive force who's blitzed through each of his last 5 opponents, looking to become the first Italian UFC champion, Marvin, the Italian Dream Vettori. And finally, he is one of the most exciting, unpredictable, and spectacular superstars in all of combat sports, attempting to continue his reign of dominance and remaining undefeated at 185 pounds. Here is the defending UFC middleweight champion, the last style bender, Israel Adesanya.
What's up, Arizona? How are you? Thanks for coming out today. We appreciate it. Good to be back with you guys. John Morgan, where are you at?
Right here, guys. Crazy. Israel, I want to start with you, Israel. This is a rematch that's been in the works for a long time, but one that you didn't really seem all that excited about for a long time. But now that it's here, is this a fight that excites you and gives you energy, or is this just the fight that you had to take?
Well, he said he wanted October. Robert said he wanted September, and I said, I'm the king. Who wants June? He doesn't deserve this, but he stepped up. I wasn't excited at first, but then seeing the way Kamaru silenced everyone in his last fight makes me excited to do the same thing this weekend.
And, of course, it's been 3 years, and fighters evolve, and Marvin's gone 5-0 since then. So I'm just curious, where do you see him versus them?
5-0 against who? 5-0 against who?
Who did you beat?
One
where
person
you're at?
on that list.
What
I know
did you
that's
do
Jack
to
Hermanson.
Romero, or what did you do to Jan? You lost your last
listen
fight.
to me.
You should have
You
lost
can look at the
that
records.
belt.
Look at his
So
side
what?
and look at
You
my
got
side.
patted
This
all
is
the
the last
way out
fought.
there.
I'm the fucking champion and you ain't, bitch.
not gonna be for long. I'm taking everything. I'm taking everything. I'm stripping everything.
I can't even hear what you're saying.
I'm taking everything.
Hey.
Buy some fucking new ears.
Stand
then,
up.
because at first
Stand up.
The AirPods wasn't working.
Stand up. Your
and now
pants is
your
on
ears don't
backwards. Your pants is on
Shut
backwards.
up, man. You're full of shit. I proved you wrong so many fucking times you don't even know anymore. These are the real people that believe into your own bullshit ass hype, and they're all gonna get shut up.
And one last thing is
Quiet, that's what you gotta be.
Obviously, earlier this year, you came up short in the bid for champ status. You know, you handled it like a champ. But I just wonder if the energy is different this time, right? Like, you're not going for something new. You're trying to keep what's yours. Is there a different energy around this fight?
I'm a man. I step up even if I lost. Even if I lost, I take it and I accept it and I move on. Unlike him, he holds on to that loss.
Whenever
to me
you
like
get
his
beat,
biggest
you
win of
change
his
your
career.
face. You're like, oh,
You didn't
sorry,
beat
sorry.
shit. Hey, you
Whenever
didn't
you go
beat shit.
beat and you change face.
Bro,
That's
after I
the
whooped
you had
your ass, you
after
popped.
the John
You
fight
popped
you
in
had
August
with me.
2018 by USADA. Trust me.
Man, what about your teeth? Listen, I got nothing to lie. I can
cat
make you
teeth. Look at his teeth. His teeth are too separated for
I
him.
collaborated with all
Take
of
your
them.
shirt
all
off.
fucking
Hey, take
time.
your shirt off.
What
On
about
his
your
back,
teeth?
all his back, I can draw a
black, you
sailboat
didn't
on it,
show-
connecting the dots.
I'm black. You didn't show up with a fucking clit on your forehead this time, bitch.
What'd you say?
I'm glad you didn't show up with a clit on your forehead this time, bitch.
Clit.
Because of your bullshit ass testosterone that you take. First is the TD, second is your clit on your forehead. What women have, probably you don't like them, you're right?
Guys, I wanted to go next to Nate if I could. Nate, I know the press conferences aren't. I know the press conferences aren't necessarily your favorite thing, but it sounds like there's a lot of people here to see you. And I just wonder if the energy.
Woo! Let's go, Nate.
Something special for you.
What was the question?
I know you don't necessarily love doing these press conferences all the time, but you see this crowd that we haven't had in a long time, and a lot of them are here to see you very clearly. Does that bring some excitement to the day for you?
Yeah, it makes me happy to be back and be on a great card, so I'm pumped about it.
And Nate, as far as the fight itself with Leon, I mean, stylistically, is it one that excites you? Is it one that gets you pumped up for the challenge, or is this just a business assignment? I know you wanted the best fighter you could fight. So is this a fun one for you, or is it just the next one?
I believe just like how GSP was doing his thing back in the day, I think he's doing the same thing, and he's not getting no love for it. So I'm pumped to fight a worthy opponent, and that's what I'm here for. I'm coming to win. So.
Lastly, Marvin, I just want to wrap up with you. Obviously Israel's style is so unique. You've had some time in there with him. Do you believe that this being a rematch gives you an advantage because you've had a chance to see that unique style?
I have the advantage because I'm the superior fighter. I can do everything. He doesn't have all the answer for what I bring to the table. That's what it is. He doesn't have all the answer of what I bring to the table.
We talk about fighters' evolutions, but we've seen him lose for the first time, right? So do you feel the time since you first fight, he's gotten better, or has he gotten
He's
worse?
gotten better. He gotten sharper, but he didn't add nothing,
Like I said, look at the list of who he's fought. The only person I know on that list is Jack Branson. He only got here because he bought a bum at number 10. He was number 6 and he got to number 3.
Okay, we can go back and who did you beat? Who did you beat properly? Who did you beat?
I knocked, dude. I'm gonna make you my next bitch. I'm gonna do you like I did Costa.
Blah, 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 blah. You believed on your own hype, and that's where you're getting
Hey,
smoked.
man, I don't get drunk off my own hype. I sip off the Kool-Aid, but trust me, I'm gonna make you my next baby mama.
Again, he's gonna speak Nigerian. Don't make me start speaking.
What?
Devo parlare italiano, scemo. Ti faccio
Bye, let's
stare
yeah, let me
volta.
Wolodo.
Granato, ti
Yeah,
spacco
shut
a
up.
te.
Grazie, my friend. Grazie. Bring that shit.
Of course.
And Marvin, just last thing for me. I mean, you're here to win the UFC title, right? But there's a lot of yelling going on right now. So I mean, is this just about winning the title and becoming champion, or is this a personal fight for you?
It's both. I'm getting 2-on-1. I'm getting to revenge whatever it was that fight and be the first Italian UFC champion ever.
Back here. Question for Deiveson.
Yeah, go ahead.
Davidson, it seems like you're taking preparation for this camp very seriously. You've said that your opponent, Brandon Moreno, has said some things that you're not a fan of. What specifically has he said that makes this personal for you in this rematch?
Davidson, você teve muito mais tempo de preparação para essa luta e você falou que o Moreno falou algumas coisas sobre você que você não gostou. Especificamente, o que foi que ele falou que você não gostou?
Brandon Moreno é um cara que fala muito.
First of all, he speaks a lot.
Eu sou um cara que vou calar a boca dele no sábado. Eu vou nocautear esse cara no primeiro round. Preste atenção no que eu tô falando. Eu vou nocautear esse cara no primeiro round. I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to knock you out.
First of all, he talks a lot, and I'm going to shut him up because I'm going to knock him out in the first round.
Brandon, what's your response to your opponent's prediction?
Chinga madre, viva México, güey. Viva México, cabrón. Man, I speak too much because I have my own voice, you know. I'm not a puppet of anybody, so that's why I talk too much. So I was very honest with myself about what I think about the fight. The guy, you know, he tried to knock me out in the first fight, and then he started to make excuses. It's fine. It's fine, guys. It's really fine. Está bien. No hay pedo. Está bien. But hey, I mean, this next Saturday is the real deal, you know. This next Saturday, he can try make me out again, or try a little bit of me, you know. So I'm ready. I'm ready, guys.
One last one for Nate. Right here. After your fight with Jorge, you had said there were some injuries and you couldn't really focus on your cardio as much as you wanted to. How has this camp been in preparation for a 5-round fight with Leon?
Camp went good.
Just following up on that, Nate, this fight is a 5-round fight. I was curious, do you see that benefiting you, knowing that you're known to come on stronger in the later rounds?
Who is that question for?
Nate. I said to Nate, does he think a 5-round fight benefits him more than Leon?
Yeah, it's possible, but I was ready for a 2-round fight, regardless.
And to Leon, obviously Nate is probably the biggest name you've ever fought. But as a fighter, do you see him on your level, and how do you think he'll look in the octagon on Saturday?
I think skill set wise, I am leaps above him, you know, and I will show that come Saturday night. I know he says his kill or be killed, and I'm here to kill, so I cannot wait.
Over here?
Go ahead.
Over here? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, sir.
Hi. Israel, you're a long way from home, but look at the energy here. I mean, it's almost noon on Friday in New Zealand, and these people are showing you love. How does it feel?
What's up, Phoenix? Exactly. I remember the feeling last time, 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago to the month. I remember the feeling, the magic that was in the air when I took this guy away. But this time, I'm going to use that energy from you guys again. It's kind of exciting to see you guys out here. Let's go. Wait till Saturday. I'm going to use this energy.
So we're at the scene of the last fight, a disputed win, and I put that in quotes because Marvin's still disputing that you won that fight. How does that make you feel?
It's amusing to me.
It's telling itself a story.
Let him know what you think.
Itself a bullshit, because his whole character is bullshit, and he believed it in his own bullshit. That's what it is. It's fake to the fullest.
Well, I'll tell you this thing. This weekend, you wouldn't need the judges. We got Chris Lee out of there, but this weekend, you wouldn't need the judges. Oh, no, I'll show you the same. I will show you the same.
Please,
Trust me. Do your thing. What are you going to do? Try and sniff my jocks?
Bring it.
You're going to try and sniff my jocks for 5 rounds, but in the second round, you're going to hit the floor.
You were Puma.
You're going to be sniffing the floor. That plastered ass nose on your left side of your face.
Yeah, blah.
Obroko Bioko.
Yeah,
Sakramadin, you shit packer. Fuck you.
Fanculo, coglione.
One last one for you, Israel. Ayabiaku, which is what we call yourself, the heart of the lion. The lion is the king of the jungle. Are we going to see the lion come out on Saturday against Marvin Vettori?
Get a load of that. Just make sure you shot it, don't test us after this.
That has to check you for sure, man.
Bro, if they test you, you'd pop. You piss hot right now. I know you'd piss hot right now because you're already popped.
Easy. I have nothing to hide.
You have everything to hide.
Nothing.
Hey, stand up. Your pants is on backwards. Show us again.
What about your titty? Nobody even asked
Bro,
about that.
look at your face. Look at your eyes.
What?
Look at your teeth. Look at how gapped they are. Spread your teeth out even more.
What?
Show us your back. Show us your back
What are
knee.
you talking about?
I know exactly what I'm talking about. Show us your back knee.
You making fun of this?
It's too hot for that today. What the fuck are you wearing? It's too hot out here in Arizona. This punk ass bitch trying to look like he's a fucking class act.
What the fuck is that thing, bro?
Motherfucker, I'm dressed for this.
You tried to talk about how I dress. Let me
Hey,
teach
bro,
you a couple things
why you
after I
wearing
beat
this?
you in
I'm
the
sure
cage.
you're sweating
Let
under
me
that
show
shit. You're sweating. Hey, show us your butt crack. You're sweaty as fuck.
Not at all. I can teach you how to dress if you want. If you're nice.
Who's dressed better right now, me or him?
How the fuck is that even a question? How the fuck is that even a fucking question, man?
Question. Hey, you know how you say, you don't know what to call me. Don't call me your friend. Don't call me your brother. Call me champ, bitch.
Is that even a question?
All right.
Nate, it's like the bomb outside my house.
Let me go to Nate real quick. Nate, how does it feel to have fans, not just in the arena, but coming on Saturday, have fans in the arena? And this feels like second home for you. This is not California, though. This is Arizona.
Hey, it's love everywhere I go. I love the support, and I love the whole shit, man. This is great. This is great that these guys are doing their thing too. Fuck yeah, real fight. So that's cool.
All right, one last one, Nate. After this fight, what's next for you? Is there a possibility of another BMF fight? Are you gonna fight against Masvidal? Or everyone keeps talking about Nick, your brother, fighting him, but I don't see you as someone who's gonna let your big brother handle that for you.
Yeah, every fight is gonna be the baddest motherfucking fight you ever seen. And then besides that, if my brother's next, that's even a better fight than you've ever seen. So it's perfect.
One last one, Leon. This fight for you is a big fight. How difficult are you gonna make Dana's job if you win the fight to now put you as a contender against Usman?
I have to go out there and improve my case, you know. I'll go out there and smoke a guy like Nate. They'll put me in the spot where I deserve. Number 9 in a row. That's the third most in the history of the promotion, so I'm looking forward to it. I know Nate's a tough guy. He's durable.
Look.
There's a lot he's going to take that Saturday night.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Deiveson, faz muito tempo que você não luta com fãs. Voltar a ter o público em volta e aparentemente eles torcendo contra você. Como fazer para lidar com isso?
Deiveson, it's been a long time since you don't fight with fans. Have the attendance and the crowd back. Not only that, but against you. How do you deal with that?
Eu sou o showman dessa galera. E sábado eu vou fazer um show pra vocês, nocauteando esse cara. Eu sou o showman. Eu vou fazer um show pra vocês e vou fazer vocês me amarem, entendeu?
I'm a showman, and I'm gonna put on a show for you guys. I'm gonna knock him out, so I'm gonna put on a show and make you guys love me.
Deiveson, você falou com a imprensa brasileira essa semana e você disse que depois da luta já teria alguns desafios, alguns nomes para citar. Você pode falar sobre isso? Quais seriam os nomes? E se o seu foco seria super lutas ou se você tem algum outro nome do ranking para desafiar?
Deiveson, this week you spoke to the Brazilian press, and you actually already mentioned a couple of upcoming challenges for you. So you mentioned a couple of names, but can you elaborate more on that and talk about possible names, ranked names, or big fights?
Sinceramente, eu sou um cara que entra para nocautear na minha categoria e eu quero muito que o patrão me dê essa oportunidade de fazer Uma grande luta na categoria de cima, né? Eu vou deixar com ele, mas eu queria que ele me colocasse para lutar direto pelo cinturão, para mostrar que eu também tenho potencial para ser o dono do cinturão da categoria acima.
I'm always looking for the big fights, and I want the boss to listen to this one because I want him to put me and give me a chance to move up on category because I want to get that belt.
Izzy over here. What's up, brother?
So, go ahead, sir.
What do you think about your opponent? You think this is a fake bravado? Because I've never seen this swag. It seems like he's setting. Are you setting him up mentally to get knocked out to stand in front of you? Because he's like acting like he's gangster, but do you think he's about that life?
Hey man, there's only one gangster on that side. You know who it is, but
Who's that? Is that you?
Well, you saw the meaning with
I've seen you outside of many encounters.
Saw the energy you care. Shut the fuck up. Your daddy's talking. Shut the fuck up. Your daddy's talking. Brand new has sound, y'all. Pass me the remote. Sure. I beg.
Shut the hell up.
Listen, you saw what he did when he saw me.
You're
you know how he was.
Fake.
Oh, I'm gonna get your belt, friend. I said I'm not your friend.
Yeah,
he doesn't keep that same energy.
That's why I'm not calling you either, bitch. Oh boy, you fucking little boy.
You can't even understand the mumble he's saying. Doesn't he look that nigga from the Goonies? Show him that picture again.
So what? So what? Cause like what? Cause you think you look good? Cause you think you look good? You look like a fucking bum.
Bitch.
Look how you look. Look how you dress.
Look at how you look. You look like the fucking orc from Lord of the Rings.
You think like Dolce & Gabbana will fucking wear something that doesn't look good? I look better than you would ever think.
All right, sir. Do you have another question? Does it bother you the fact that since you lost at 205, that these dudes at 185 are trying to try you and think that the division's up for grabs?
And remember what happened. Remember what happened after UFC 248 when everyone was sleeping on me and I said, y'all must have forgot. And I went into Abu Dhabi on a private island and fight in front of a lot of billionaires and I fucked this motherfucker up. I'm going to do the same thing this weekend in front of you guys. I'm going to fuck this dude up. Trust.
Next question is for Nate. How's it feel to be the star and you don't have to say but 5 words and you got all these people in the palm of your hands?
Sir, talking to the mic.
I'm 6'5". Is this good? Is good? Okay. How's it feel to be a star, be the star, don't we have to say anything, and you just being up here, you got all these people in the palm of your hands doing what you wanted to do. Well, you don't have to say but 5 words.
You got a show going. It's perfect.
Final questions. Brandon, my final question for Brandon. Do you think Deiveson's overconfident? The fact that you stood in front of him for 5 rounds, he's still talking noise and he thinks he's gonna get you out of there. Does you think that you got the mental edge on
Brother, ask me again because the people hear the energy right now. I can hear you. Sorry. All right, so maybe, man. So he's trying to make some narrative in his mind to maybe to keep focus, to be concentrated on the next fight. So if that works for him, it's fine for me. I don't care, you know. I just want to be the next flyweight champion. That's the most important thing in my career. I mean, for my Mexican people, for my people right now here in Phoenix, you know, it's crazy that. So for me, for my family, for everyone.
Go ahead, sir. You got a question?
I do. Senor Brandon, how do you expect to come out of this fight? TK or submission?
Man, I want to finish the fight early, you know. I want to go to my room, eat some burgers, some pizza, because I love the food. That's one of the best part of the life, you know, the food. So I want to finish the fight early, but in this level, it's so hard to finish the fight early, you know, because he's real. I mean, he's trying to lie to himself because he say I'm trash talk, but the people know me, brother. The people know me. I'm not that guy. I never trash talk with anybody. So, man, I just want to finish the fight early, but the guy is real. The guy is powerful. So I need to take care of myself too. You know, I need to be smart in that fight. So I'm prepared to finish the fight in the first, second round. But if it's necessary to make another war for both, for us, for the people, man, I'm ready. Go.
Cara, my friend, just to be fair, what do you have to answer to that?
Só para você, a pergunta que foi feita para ele. E primeiro ele perguntou para ele se você, como é que você pretende terminar a luta, submissão ou nocaute. Ele falou que ele gosta de comer, que ele gosta que é a melhor parte e que ele sabe que você é um bom lutador, que ele tem que ser esperto, que ele tem que lutar bem, mas ele quer poder terminar a luta o mais cedo possível para sair para comer. Mas que você tem uma coisa na tua cabeça que só está olhando para a próxima luta, que você está vendo ele só como uma parte do negócio. Então a pergunta dele é, o que você acha dessa resposta dele? Que ele quer terminar o mais cedo possível.
Eu lutei com esse cara doente. Estava muito doente. Estava com uma infecção intestinal. Eu lutei 30% com ele e ganhei a luta. Agora eu vou lutar 100%. Eu vou fazer esse cara correr todo o tempo da minha mão.
Tá legal, obrigado.
This guy is sick. I mean, he was sick in the first fight, and he wasn't 100%. He was actually fighting at 30%. But now I'm at 100%, and I'm gonna give my all, and you're gonna see what it's all about.
Go ahead. Yeah.
This question is for Brandon Moreno. Brandon, you can be the first Mexican born and raised UFC champion. You have a country on your back. A lot of kids want to be like you when they grow up. How this big responsibility and beautiful pressure affect you?
Man, at first was hard, because yes, I mean, the first guy who born in, Tijuana, Mexico is 5 hours from here. It's crazy. But right now, I think I have the correct mindset to believe in myself, I have that responsibility because if I get the title, the sport in my country, Mexico, can grow up a lot. So we have a lot of really good guys in the UFC, Pantera Rodriguez, Alexa Grasso, Irene, Mowgli. But man, first Mexican champion, that sounds, man, I love how that sounds, Nice.
It's big, not only for Mexico, but for Latin America too. The boss say that the last fight was the best fight in the history of this division and was only 21 days notice. I can imagine that changed your life. How different was the preparation for this fight since you have a full camp and a lot of responsibilities being a UFC star?
Man, UFC star sounds good. You think I'm a star, boss? You think I'm a star in the company?
You win this fight, you're gonna blow up in Mexico.
Yeah. Woo. Man, so the last fight was hard, just 3 weeks to try to make some game plan to try to make some good drills for the fight. What's hard? Could wait again, make everything again against, for the title against this guy. He's a really good opponent. So this time, 6 months of preparation was crazy. Even after the fight, I tried to stay focused, with my family, spend time with my family. But one part of my mind still was in the fight. So man, I used all this time to prepare myself for the rematch, and that's it. It's different.
Thank you, champ. Vamos arriba. Suerte para el sábado.
Go ahead.
For Israel, first for Israel, when did things become so personal with Marvin? And I mean, is that a good thing for you? Does that kind of get you more up for this fight?
Hey man, I'm not vegan. I like that beef. Trust me, I like beef when it's between
Italian
people.
beef,
Same way.
100%.
Italian beef. Hey, his beef is already steroided up. He's in that horse
Oh
meat.
my God, it's crazy what the fuck
me,
he's
horse
talking about. Like, he's the one showing up with titties, man. That ain't normal.
I'll
That
tell
ain't
you
normal.
something.
You
You
can
can
see
look
my
who's
physique
personal
throughout my whole
between.
career. There was never a change. 100% Italian, natural, clean beef. Can't say the same for you.
And then just for Brandon Moreno, Brandon, a lot of fans here in Phoenix.
I
Brandon
love it.
Moreno. Did you expect this? Did you expect this?
Man, fucking, I love you guys. I fucking love you guys. Man, so after, before to come to the UFC, I fought here like 3 times, 3 times here in Phoenix and 2 times in Tucson. So I know the people know me definitely here in Phoenix. Man, I'm just trying to be very humble. I'm just trying to be very kind with everybody. I'm trying to be very educated, and the people appreciate it, and that's it.
Also, for Brandon, I noticed that that Nate next to you offered you something a few minutes ago, but you didn't take it. He offered you a little something.
Yeah. Everybody, he's a man. This guy is amazing. It's the first time I meet Nathan. He's an amazing person, bro.
There you go. And just for Nate, you have a house out in Paradise Valley with all your boys. Why did you choose to stay so far away? And what's good about that situation and that environment?
I'm just got all my army, my team, everybody's there, and you already know what it is. We'll be there Friday.
I noticed that you lit something up a few minutes ago. What exactly was that?
That's Kill 4209. That's the Chronic right there, baby. You already know what's up.
And then last for Dana, UFC 265 in August. Any update on that main event and location?
No.
All right.
Good shot.
Houston was the last rumor. Is looking like Houston right now for August?
Could be. That's what we're shooting for. We'll see what happens.
And then what about September? Do we know anything about September yet? All right. I tried. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Go ahead. You're the last question, sir. What do
All
you
right,
got?
here we go. That's perfect because I'm from right here in Arizona, and I want to ask you about being back here, Dana. At one point in time, we weren't sure we were ever going to get a UFC event in Arizona, but here you are with one of the biggest cards in company history right here. Can you just talk about coming back and being here in Arizona?
Yeah, it was always super unfortunate because it's so close to Vegas, and we were always doing Vegas events. Did the last one here, and then this pandemic hits. You got Florida, you got Texas, and you got Arizona. So thank God for those 3 states, and we love this place. And the fans coming back to this event. We had the record already. We broke the record, and we broke our own record and almost doubled it. That's how badass Arizona is.
For Izzy, what's up, champ? How are you?
Very well.
I want to talk to you about what's changed for you because you beat him last time out, and everybody wants to ask him, what have you improved on? How have you gotten better? You're getting better, too. Moving up and fighting Jan, defending those takedowns against the bigger guy. How much better have you gotten to face him this time?
Like I said, you can look at both sides since we last fought. Honestly speaking, since we last fought, you can look at the stack of people he's fought and the stack of people I've fought. It's a vast difference. It's a vast difference.
You lost against Romero, you lost against me, and then you lost against Blachowicz.
I'll tell you one thing.
You beat Borrachinha, that he was drunk the night before. That's who you beat? Great, wow.
Who have you beat?
Whitaker,
Tell me,
yeah, no,
who have you beat?
Whitaker
Name 3 top 10 opponents you've beat. Name.
Listen, I showed up every
Exactly.
single
You ain't got shit.
I showed up every
I can
single
tell you
fucking
who I
time.
beat.
People
All
can
you know
make
who
it
I
to fight with me. That ain't my fault.
Hey, man, it's your fault.
Whoever that showed up,
because you don't run your own
Whoever
career.
showed up,
I run your career. I'm the narrative in your career. I run your fucking shit.
You tried to ignore me, bitch. You tried to ignore me.
Fine,
Here
tell
I
me.
am.
I never
I'm a fucking
ever
nightmare,
that.
bitch.
Look at me.
You're a fucking
Try me.
nightmare.
Try me now, bitch. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Try it again. Try me again. Look at him. You know what that's called? That's called roid rage. That's called roid rage. Try me again. That ain't caffeine. That's roid rage, bitch.
Thank you, Arizona. We appreciate it. I'm going to square these guys off right now.
Yo, Kendrick. Kendrick. Sit down. Yo, sit. Yo, listen. Yeah, you're good. All of a sudden, yeah, but you just your hang out. Nah, you're good right there. You're good right there. Good. I appreciate you. I kind of like all this. Kendrick.
Let's fucking go!